So let's begin the project. My bust measurement is 35 inches. So we're going to be working this pattern into 3 parts. We're going to start with the back panel and then 2 front panels, and now the sleeves. So to begin, we're going to start with the back panel. So for the back panel, the measurement for your back panel, or according to the size that you want, is going to be your bust measurement divided by 2. So in my case, my bust measurement is 35 inches. If I divide that by 2, it's going to be around 17.5. So I'm going to make enough chains that can give me 17.5. Yeah, so that's where we begin. You can use your measuring tape. It gives me 17.5. I haven't stretched so much, just a little stretch, and maybe you want to do the same because this is a cardigan. You don't want it to be so tight, so, and you don't also want it to be so loose, so you can stretch this work but just a little bit, you know. Okay, so after you have the number of chains that is equivalent to half your bust measurement or more, depending on what you need. Now we are going to move to the first row of the work. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. The 3 acts like the first double crochet, and then on your last stitch, go back inside and make a double crochet, the very last stitch that you chain that you had made. So you have 2 double crochets, and then in the next chain, make a double crochet. In the next chain, make a double crochet. In the next chain, make a double crochet. Double crochet, pull up a loop, 3 loops in the hook, pull through the first 2, and then pull through all. So in this first row, you're just going to make a double crochet in each chain until you get to the last point. So keep on working on that, and I will meet you when you're done with that. So the first row completed, just a row of double crochets all the way across. So now on to the next row, chain 3. The 3 acts like the first double crochet, and then turn your work. So when you turn, on the next double crochet, make a double crochet. On the next double crochet, make a double crochet. On the next double crochet, make a double crochet. On the next double crochet, make a double crochet. And the next double crochet, another double crochet. So you're gonna keep making double crochets all the way across to the end of the second row, and then meet you when you get into the third row. Okay, so this is second row completed. So from the third row going onwards, you just want to keep repeating. This is going to be the pattern, nothing changes. Just on every row you're going to keep working on like double crochets in each row all the way across, And you're going to make enough rows that is going to give you the height of the cardigan that you need before you add the ruffles down there. So you want to make sure that it's not too long, or depending on the height that you want. But as for me, I'm going to make enough rows that is going to give me around 11 inches. That is what is perfect for the size that I made. I'm gonna meet you when you are done there. Okay, so this is what I have, and I've gone enough rows, and if I measure this, I get around 10 inches. So I have around 10 inches for this. you're just going to fold your work and put it aside so we can start working on the front panels, and then we'll come on and pick it from there. Now, in order to get the measurements for how you're going to be working on your front panels, so the front panel is going to be in a way that we are going to have a space for the neck, around the neck, and then the other part is going to be the part for your shoulder blades. So I'm going to leave around 7 inches for the neck. So that means you're going to subtract the 7 inches from the measurement of your back panel. So the measurement of a back panel will be around 17.5. So if I subtract 7 inches from 17.5, I'll get around 10.5. I'm going to, in this case, I'm going to ignore the 0.5 to just make my work a little easy. So if I ignore the 0.5, that means I'm going to be left with 10 inches. So now the 10 inches is going to be for the 2 shoulder blades, and then the 7 inches space that is going to be left here. So what you're going to do, so if I have 10 inches, divide by 2, that is going to give me 5 inches and 5 inches. So I'm going, for the front panel, we're going to make enough chains to give you, I'm going to make enough chains to give me a total of 5 inches. Okay, start with a slip knot. Okay, now in order for me to get a total of 5 inches, I'm going to make around 23 chains. That is going to give me 5 inches for the front panel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And chain 3. Chain 3 acts like the first double crochet, and then back into the last chain that you had made, make a double crochet, and in the next double crochet make a double crochet. In the next double crochet make a double crochet. In the next double crochet make a double crochet. So you're going to keep working double crochets all the way across, and let me meet you when you get here. So on the next row, now from here we're going to start increasing our work. Okay, you want to have something like this with the front panel, so that means we're going to be increasing on one side and maintaining the other side. So one side of increases and the other side of no increases at all. So that's what we want to do with this piece. So what you're going to do on your second row, so we're going to start increasing immediately. So we are going to be increasing on this end, and we are going to maintain on this end. So chain 3 and turn your work now to the second row. So let's start with an increase. So for us to be able to increase, yarn over, and you're going to make the first double crochet in this very first stitch here. So that means we have increased like that, and then continue making double crochets all the way to the last point. Remember, on this side we are not increasing, so that's gonna be the end of your second row. So chain 3 and turn your work. This chain 3 acts like the first double crochet. So the next on the next double crochet, make a double crochet and then double crochet. So when you get to the last double crochet, make a double crochet on top of it. So on the previous row we increased at the edge, right? So on the next row we are not increasing. So it's like increase, no increase, increase, no increase. So that means we're going to end the row right there. We don't add another double crochet at the end. So on the next row we are going to be increasing. So chain 3, and in the very same the chain 3 acts like the first double crochet, but in the very same stitch, since we're increasing, you're going to add another double crochet. So in this row we are increasing. So on the very next double crochet, make a double crochet, make a double crochet. You're going to keep working until you get to this other side. So when you get to this the last point, on the very last double crochet, you make a double crochet. So remember, this is the side that doesn't receive any increases, so you're just going to let it be, and you're going to move to the next row. So you're going to chain 3, turn your work, the very next double crochet, make a double crochet and another double crochet and another double crochet. In this row we are not increasing at all, so that's our work. So basically this is the pattern that you're going to continue with until you have enough, you've made enough rows equivalent to your back panel. So let's say in the back panel you made a total of 30 rows, right? So you want to keep on this pattern for the front panel. Do that and let me meet you when you have enough rows that is equivalent to your back panel. So I'll meet you when you get there. On this other side, I went ahead and started making the ruffles on one of the sides, and these ruffles, the way I've made them is what we're going to do on both the two panels and the back piece as well, before you start joining everything and then working on the sleeves. So this is where you ended your work. I'm going to chain 4, 2, 3 and 4, and turn your work. After chaining 4, skip the next double crochet, and in the next double crochet make a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, in the next double crochet make a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, in the next double crochet make a double crochet. So okay, so you're gonna keep on with this pattern until you get here. Okay, so when I get to the last point, I kind of realize I'm only left with one double crochet, and there's no double crochet to skip. But either way, I'm still gonna chain 1, and on top of this last double crochet, make a double crochet like that. So this one is a little bit different, but still the pattern is like that. So on the second row, chain 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then turn your work. So on the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1. On top of the next double crochet, make a double crochet on top of chain 1 and make a double crochet on top of the next double crochet. So keep working on this part, working the same pattern all the way until you get to this point. Let me meet you when you get there. So what you're going to do from here, you're going to make a total of 6 rows of this. So far we have 2, so you want to continue and do around 4 more rows. So keep on working on this, and let me meet you when you have a total of 6 rows, so we can move on to the next step. So I'm back with the 6 rows, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. After making the 6 rows, now we're going to move on the next thing. So just where you left off your work, chain 3, no, chain 4, 3 4, and turn your work. And inside this very first double crochet, make a double crochet and chain 1. On the next double crochet, which is this one, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, make another double crochet, chain 1. In the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, make a double crochet. So if you look closely, this is how your work looks like. It looks like some V stitches. If you've been watching my videos recently, you know that most of the projects that I've been working on for the past month have been more about ruffles, and I like to make my ruffles with the V stitch. Yeah, so this is what is happening now. So chain 1, and on the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same split, make a double crochet. So that's how you form a V stitch. So this is what you're going to keep doing till you get to the very last double crochet, and let me meet you when you're there. This is the end of the first row of the ruffles. Now let's move on to the second row of the ruffles. So start by chaining 3, then turn your work, so on the second row you're still going to be working a row of on the very first double crochet of the first row, chain 4, add an additional one to make it 4, and then in this very first double crochet, make a double crochet, and then on the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and on the very same double crochet, make another double crochet. In the next double crochet, which is this one, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, make a double crochet. This is the next double crochet. So on the next double crochet, you make a double crochet and you chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, you make another double crochet. On the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, make a double crochet. So you're going to do the same the same thing on this, like the pattern, on each double crochet all the way across to this other end. on each double crochet, and I'm going to meet you when you get there. Okay, so I've gone all the way across to the other side, and you can see the ruffles, the formation of the ruffles is intensifying, and yeah, so we're moving on to the third row. So chain 4 on the third row, 3, 3 and 4, and turn your work. So there's this first V-stitch. So inside this first space, chain 1 space, make a double crochet like that, and then now move inside the next V-stitch, the next chain 1 space that you made, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same space make another double crochet, and now move into the next V-stitch inside the chain 1 space, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same space make another double crochet. So it's like you're working inside the V-stitches. The next row is going to be the same thing. So chain 4, 3, 4, turn your work. So in this very first V-stitch, make a double crochet. So the 4 chains act like 1 double crochet, chain 1, and then an additional double crochet in the very same space. And on the next V-stitch, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same space make another double crochet. The next V-stitch, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same space make another double crochet. So you're gonna keep working on that all the way until you get to this other side, and let's meet when you're done with that. Okay, so I've come to the end of this row, and if I count, I can see I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of the ruffles, and I think that is perfect for this one. So when you're going to be working on your ruffles as well, make sure that the very last ruffle is just you make 4 rows of that, and then the other ruffle in the front is going to have more, at least 6. So this is going to have 4. The next one that we're going to be making is going to have 6. So that means that from here you're just going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. In order to start the next ruffle, make a slip knot on the very first double crochet on this mesh row. This is how you attach your yarn right there, like that, and then chain 4 2, 3, and 4. So 4 act like one double crochet, chain 1, and then make a double crochet on the very same double crochet. On the very first same double crochet, you make a double crochet like that. Chain 1 and move on to the next double crochet, which is this one. So just below it, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and make a double crochet like that. Chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, make another double crochet. Chain 1, and in the next double crochet, which is this one, set your hook, pull up a loop, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, make another double crochet. Chain 1 and move on to the next double crochet, which is this one. Set your hook, pull up a loop, make a double crochet, chain 1, the very same space, make another double crochet on the very same double crochet like that. Chain 1, and on the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and on the very same double crochet, make another double crochet. So you're going to keep on working with the same pattern. Remember to always chain 1 after every double crochet, all the way across, like to this point. And I'm going to meet you when you get there. Let's move on to the next row. So chain 4, 3 and 4, turn your arc. After chaining 4, yarn over and make a double crochet on the very first double crochet. So after making the first V-stitch, on the next double crochet, make a double crochet and chain 1, and in the very same space, make a double crochet. Okay, on the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same space, double crochet like that. On the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and make a double crochet in the very same double crochet. In the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet, make another double crochet. So you're gonna keep on working like this all the way until you get to the end, and I'm gonna meet you when you get there. Okay, so now let's move to the third row. So chain 4, 2, 3 and 4, turn your work. In row 3, we're going to be working inside the V-stitches. So this is the first V-stitch. So just inside it, make a double crochet. So the chain 4 acts like the first double crochet, chain 1, and then move on inside the next V-stitch, which is this one. Inside of it, make a chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same space. And then you can go on into the next V-stitch, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same space. Inside the next V-stitch, which is this one, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same space. Inside the next, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same space. Inside the next V-stitch, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same space. In the next V-stitch, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So this is the pattern for row 3. So you're going to keep on working on inside each of these previous V-stitches all the way across and following the same pattern, and I'm going to meet you when you get to the end. So that is row 3 complete. Let's go to row 4. So chain 4, 2, 3 and 4. Turn your work. So on row 4, still the pattern is the same as the previous row 3. We are working a V-stitch in each V-stitch. So this is the first V-stitch. So inside of it, make a double crochet. The chain 4 act like 1 double crochet, chain 1. So in the very next V-stitch, which is this, make a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. That's how you make a V-stitch. A V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet in the very same space. The next V-stitch, make a V-stitch, a V-stitch, so this is row 4. You're going to keep on with the same pattern all the way across, and then you're going to do the same thing for row 5 and for row 6. And I'm going to meet you when you've done row 4, row 5 and row 6. So you have 6 rows in this place, so we can move on to the next thing. So let me meet you when you have 6 rows. So keep doing that, and let me meet you when you have 6 rows. Okay, so this is after I've made the 6 rows. So if you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is how you'll be making the ruffles. So just chain 1 and cut your yarn. My back panel, the same thing here, and then the 2 front panels, first one, the other one. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part, which is joining all the 3 parts. So this is how you assemble the parts to form a top. The part that has this the mesh pattern and the ruffles is going to be the inside of your work, and then you're going to get your 2 pieces. And as for the 2 pieces, the part that you're increasing stays in the middle. So here is something that you want to make sure you're doing. So when you're organizing your work, or before you finish the 2 front panels, you want to make sure that your work is on the right side. I just had to remove a whole ruffle that I had made because I had made it on the wrong side. Your work needs to be like this, so the 2 parts stay facing each other. So in case you work your ruffles on this side instead of this one, you're going to have a hard time. So you want to make sure that your ruffles are both on the good side. This is how your work is going to look like. So you're gonna get a few stitch markers, and if you don't have a stitch markers, you can just use yarn to mark. So the very end, the last double crochet on this point, and the last double crochet on the back, like that. And then the last double crochet here. And I'm going to count 1, 2. On the back I made a total of here 23. So you're going to count 23 from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. This is the 23rd stitch. So the front, and then on the 23rd stitch on the back, like that. I'm gonna do the same thing on this other side. So after you have this, this is the right side of your work. So we are going to be joining this part on the wrong side of our work. So we're using the stitch markers. So just let's begin with this side first. So you want to get your yarn and make a slip knot, and now let's connect these two parts. Take off your stitch marker, attach your yarn, chain one, and now in order to join this we're going to be using single crochets. So that is the first double crochet. Now the next double crochet, insert your hook, and the next double crochet on the back like that, and make a single crochet, back, back, make a single crochet, when you get to the last point, chain one and cut your yarn. So you're going to do the same thing on this other side. So after joining these two parts, the next thing you want to do is we're going to be joining the rest of the parts, but first let's leave some space for the sleeves. So a total of 7 inches for the sleeves, and this is where my 7 inches is. So just I'm going to use a stitch marker to mark that point on this side and on the other side. We're going to do the same thing on this other side. Measure a total of 7 inches and using a stitch marker, mark where that is, like that. So the next thing you're going to do is to join from this part to the very end of this before you just begin the mesh, or before you just begin the ruffle. So from this point all the way to this point, and then on the other side as well, from this point all the way to this point. So you're going to join that using a row of single crochets all the way to this point and on the other side, and you're going to do that on the wrong side of your work. To insert, attach your yarn right here where your stitch markers are, and then now you can take off your stitch markers. And then connect this with a row of single crochets, 2 single crochets in each double crochet space. So 1, 2, first double crochet space, the next double crochet space, one single crochet in the next double crochet space, 2 single crochets in the next double crochet space, 1 single crochet. I'm going to alternate between 2 single crochets and one single crochet. and then slip stitch, chain 1 and cut your yarn. So you're going to do the same thing on this other side and join using a row of single crochets and alternate between 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. And let me meet you when you have both the 2 sides joined so we can start working on the sleeves. So this is what we have after leaving the sleeves out. You can see the joining. So you have the sleeve space on both sides. Now it's time to work on the sleeves. Okay, now let's start working on the sleeves. So make a slip knot and attach your yarn at the very tip, like here. Chain 1. On the next double crochet space, make a single crochet. In the next double crochet space, make 2 single crochets. In the next 1 single crochet. In the next 2 single crochets. In the next 1 single crochets. 2 single crochets. 1 single crochet. 2 single crochets. 1 single crochet. We're going to do the same thing, 2 single crochets all the way. Let me meet you when you get back to where you started. Now let's move on to the next row. So in the next row we're going to start working on the mesh pattern for a total of 9 inches long. So start by chaining 4 and then skip the next single crochet, and inside the next one make a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next single crochet into the next one, make a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next single crochet in the next one, chain 1, skip in the next single crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next single crochet, and then on the next single crochet make a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next single crochet, on the next one make a double crochet. So we're making the shell pattern. So you're going to keep on working on this until you get to this other side. Let me meet you when you get there. So you get back to this point when you started. On top of the chain 3 that you had made, you're going to slip stitch. You're going to make enough rows, same pattern, for a total of 9 inches, and I'm going to meet you when you have 9 inches. So this is after I have made total of 9 inches. Just gonna take a measurement and you can see there is 9 inches. So chain 3, actually chain 4, and on the very first double crochet make a double crochet. So the chain 4 acts like 1 double crochet, chain 1, then chain 1, inside the next double crochet make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet make another double crochet, chain 1, and move to the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet make another double crochet. So you're going to keep on this pattern all the way across till you get to the last double crochet, and I'm gonna meet you when you get there. So this is after I've gone all the way across, and this is the last double crochet. So on top of the 1, 2, 3, chain 3, insert your hook and slip stitch. That is that first row completed. Now let's move on to the next row. You're going to chain 4, 3 and 4. The 4 acts like 1 double crochet, chain 1, and on the very first double crochet, which is this one, inside it make a double crochet, And now let's go on to the next double crochet. Inside the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same double crochet make another double crochet, and then you move on to the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same double crochet, and you go on to the next double crochet, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same space. So keep on doing this, and I'll meet you when you get to this last double crochet, so we can move on to the third row. And now in the next row we're going to be working inside each of these V stitches. So first of all, you want to slip stitch and make sure you're inside the first V stitch, the very first V stitch here. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 4, and in the very same space make another double crochet, and then inside the next V stitch make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, then inside the next V stitch make another V stitch, which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Inside the next, a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So for the third row, this is going to be your pattern, your crochet. So do that, and I'm gonna meet you when you get to the last V stitch, so we can proceed to the next row. So when you get here, on top of the chain 3, insert your hook and make a slip knot. So the fourth row is going to be, we're going to be working inside each of these V stitches, the previous row, inside them. So what you're going to do from here, in order to work inside the first V stitch, which is this one, you're going to slip stitch inside, slip stitch twice, and when you're inside, chain a total of 4, 3 and 4. The 4 cancel as 1 double crochet, chain 1, and inside the very same space, double crochet, V stitch, make a double crochet. That is the first V stitch. And now in the next V stitch, which is this one, inside of it, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same V stitch. In the next one, make a double crochet, chain 1, and in the very same space, another double crochet. The next one, make a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the very same V stitch. So keep on working on this until you get to where is the last V stitch, and I'm going to meet you when you get there. So coming to the end of this row, so on top of the chain 4 that you have made, count 3, 2, 3, and on top of the chain 3, slip stitch, chain 1, and cut your yarn. So this, because this is at the very tip, it's only going to get 4 rows of the ruffles. Okay, so I've gone ahead and made 6 rows for this, and so this is done, the first ruffle. So you're going to move on to the next ruffle and following the same procedure that you've made for this first ruffle, and like we've been doing all the other ruffles, that's the same pattern that you're going to use. So maybe if you didn't get any of the part where the process of making the ruffles, you can always rewind the video and find like a place where I explained all of that, so you can replicate that on the sleeve. Because for this sleeve you're going to have a total of like 3 ruffles on the sleeve, like this other side. This is the other side of my work, the other sleeve. So there's this 1, 2, 3. So it means on this other side too, that is the same thing that we are going to do to have. And so far we already have one of this, so it means we're going to add 2 more. So after that, what you're going to do, so the next ruffle is you're going to count a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this you're going to skip 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 6th row is where your next ruffle is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is on the 6th row. That is where your next ruffle is going to be. So maybe let's a stitch marker there. And then the next ruffle is going also to be skip 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next ruffle is going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 6th row. So on this, the next ruffle, you're still going to have 6 rows since you're skipping around 5 rows, so 6 rows is perfect. On the second one, before, like, this is the last where this is where the last ruffle is going to be, and between here and where the next ruffle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So when you're making this ruffle, the last ruffle, since between you're going to skip around 7 rows before the next ruffle, you're also going to make a total of 7 rows. So yeah, so depending on how many you're skipping, that's going to determine how many rows of the ruffles you're going to make. So here is going to be 6 rows, here is going to be around 7 rows, because the difference between here to the next ruffle is around 7 rows too. So I'm going to leave you to complete this, and I'm going to meet you when you have your sleeve, when you've completed this. And maybe when you're done with that, you want to do the same exact thing on the next sleeve, so you have 2 sleeves completed. And I'm going to meet you when you have both of your 2 sleeves completed with the ruffles, so we can go on to the last part. So this is what I have after completing the 2 sleeves. So the 2 sleeves completed, both on the side, on this side. Now we're going to the last steps. So the last steps, we are going to add a drawstring around this place, around at the base here, so you can be able to like fit properly. So for the drawstring, I'm going to be doubling my strand to get something a little concrete. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna make a total of 250 chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so this is a total of 250 chains, and so this is after going around. So this is what you have right here. So this is adjustable, and it was adjusted and tight like that. Okay, now the last part that I've noticed is something that is essential to work on, is where we were connecting the 2 front panels to the back. So there's this area here that is left unworked, and I think that the best idea to do with it is to sew these 2 together on this side and the other piece as well. I guess that's the only thing that you need to do. And then after you do that, the last thing that you're going to do on this one is just to even your ends, and your work will be ready for trying out and all that. So I hope you liked the video, and I hope you enjoyed making this with me. I know it was kind of daunting with the ruffle things, but it's worth it at the end, and I guess that's why you'd ever want to make this, because it's gonna be worth it. So yeah, so I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. It's the best way to support me and to support the channel. So thank you for tuning in, and it was me, Queen, and I'm gonna meet you on the next one.